Last year I had the opportunity to visit Ireland, and it was a wonderful experience. I visited so many different places. One of the churches I went to was called Our Lady of Knock Shrine. Our Lady of Knock is located in the town of Knock in the county Mayo. Most people around the world aren't familiar with this church or shrine, but in Ireland it is very well known. Now I'd like to tell you about something that happened at that church a long time ago. On August 21st, 1879, on a dark, rainy, dreary, cold day, two women were bustling past the church. When they walked past the church wall, they were startled by an apparition. The apparition was an altar with a lamb laying on top and a cross above it surrounded by angels. When they looked to the other side of the cross, they saw Mary praying, dressed in beautiful garments and wearing a crown. Standing next to Mary, wearing the vestments of a bishop and holding the book of Gospels, was John the Evangelist. Next to him was Saint Joseph, and he was praying. The lamb was to honor Mary. The two women looked and started screaming for other people to come and look at the apparition. Altogether, there ended up being 15 people kneeling, praying in the rain. But what was strange was that the apparition, the altar, the crucifix, Mary, John, Joseph, they were all dry. The church wall and the ground beneath them was dry, but everyone praying was soaked. They continued praying the rosary as well as other prayers. And a few people got curious and tried to walk up and touch Mary or the altar or the apparition. However, it seemed to move away from them, and they kept advancing, trying to touch it until they ran into the wall. But the apparition was still there. They went back to kneeling and praying for 3 hours until the apparition disappeared. The next day, people flocked to that church, and several healings happened. Blind people were able to see. Crippled people were able to walk. It is said that in the next 3 years, over 300 healings took place. Consequently, the bishop came to investigate and interviewed all 15 people who saw the apparition. They ranged in age from 5 to 17 years old, and what's interesting is that their stories were all identical. So the bishop approved what they saw as trustworthy.